And one of the biggest things that I see people do, and I've caught myself doing it as well, so I stop it when I catch myself, is say for example, I don't know, Martha and Marion, they're sisters. And of course, Martha doesn't like how Marion does it. And then so Marion will get upset. And then what she'll do, or, Marion may be having a bad day and responding to Martha in a different way. What Martha, the ignorant Martha, would do is she would go and replay this and make a story with it and build a case against Marion, and that's an ignorant thing to do. So that means you're tormenting yourself, you're driving yourself crazy, you're building a case against them, but who are you really building a case against? It's yourself. So then, of course, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody, it happens often and frequently. And a lot of times, like me as a practitioner, like if I'm going to complain about Sandra, when I complain about Sandra, it's not about Sandra. It's about me and my personal spin on what Sandra does. All right. Now, if Sandra does something that hurts me, what I do or bother me, I'm going to back away from it. I'm going to go retreat. I'm going to work through my head. I'm going to tap on myself. I'm going to say, okay. And there's 3-4 basic questions. I say, what part of this is really about me? Is it really about me? What is her part? All right. And the second part is, okay, understanding her part, understanding my part. Is there anything I can do to change her problem? Most likely I can't. And then I say, how can I handle this in a way that will be healthy? Now, that's logic and that kicks in. And when you handle that, and that's what I do when we have a problem, I back away. I retreat, I go tap on myself, I evaluate what is going on inside them from my perspective. What am I doing? And how can I make an adjustment with me? Now, what the crazy thing is, if I don't do that, and then I spin the story against her, and I create a story to support my problem, I'm creating a judgment against her and against myself, and it harms everybody involved. Right. And then if I go to her when I'm already spinning this spin against her, it's going to escalate into a big mess, and it could cause more harm. So what you want to do is, you having been triggered, tapping in the heat of moment is a great one. Secondly, pulling yourself away from whatever it is that's happening and evaluate what is your part in this scenario. Are they spinning it against you based on their own stuff? Now, remember, granted, there's people in our lives have problems, right? But you don't want to invalidate yourself or lower yourself to the problem. You can understand the problem, you identify the problem, and then maybe, hopefully, the shifting can occur between you. But the most important thing is, one of the things you don't want to do is hang a person on a nail. And hang a person on a nail, it means it's like hanging your coat on the nail, and you just leave it there, and that's your coat, and the coat will never change. And that's what you don't want to do, is you don't want to hang the person on a nail. I mean, categorize them, they're emotional crazy, or they're mean, or whatever you could do to label them, then all of a sudden they're stuck with a label. So if the partner in your life, or whoever it is in your life, you have to look at them and say, they got problems. I'm responding to their problems. I can do 2 things. I can curse myself by reminiscing, replaying, building a case against that person, or I can heal myself by evaluating the situation. And then you evaluate the situation. What's my role in this? What did I do that could have been better? What's their problem with it? What can I do to shift and change this? And then that way you can improve yourself. But here's the crazy thing is, we have been so justified in being angry, upset, pissed, and bothered, and building a case against someone else, which is really building a case against yourself and the relationship. So for me, I just back away. I clean up. I think about it. I want my distance as far as I can, so I can work on me and reminisce, doing what I need to do. And I look for trails, like, all right, so this is my response to this person. Have I had this response before someone? Clean all those memories up. And then when you come back, it's like never happened, Anyway, so that's how I do it. It may be not the best way. And of course, the partner may not like the way you do it. I don't know. Like everybody processes differently. But there's no bad. It's just the only bad thing is I say the bad thing. It's not really bad as you reminisce and build a problem. And then you got a big problem. So, because this is the key. Remember, you're coming from an emotional coping environment, and that coping environment is what your parents did, your dad did, your brothers and sisters do. And that coping environment may not be what we would call a very emotionally wise way of processing information. You know what I'm saying? It may not be a very good way to do it because it could cause you a lot of problems. So you got to update your parents in your head, how they deal with each other, or your sisters or ex-husbands or whatever it is that you're doing. And once you adjust that person or persons, and you change it to where they're responding differently, handling things differently, then you will handle it differently as well. So again, I think the most important time of tapping is right now. I am bothered. All right, you tap on yourself then, or go to the loo, go to the toilet, take a walk, and tap on yourself. The second most important time to tap on it is when you didn't tap on it and you think about it that you should have tapped on it. Don't beat yourself up with it. Stop right then and then tap on it. And then that way you clean that up. All right. These are some of the most important times of tapping. And of course, another one is inoculate tapping, or also I say reminisce tapping, go back to the past and change all and every bad experience that you have internally. Those 3 points there is a game changer, and so that's really, really what you want, is to have something better.